again, James Roughton, and welcome to my podcast. In today's session, I want to talk about safety culture and breaking the blame cycle. In many discussions with my collaborator, Nathan Crutchfield, we have been discussing a lot about what is reality, about how we get locked into one method that gives the appearance of effectiveness but can actually, in my opinion, mask active errors without knowing it. This could affect how your safety culture is structured and how you determine if a condition is an unsafe act or not. What I ask you to do is reflect on your strongest belief about your safety culture and ask yourself, is this belief of unsafe acts a concept-based activity, or is it based on factual evidence? Just give me the facts. Or is it something that you have always been told or trained on before, or is it the way things have always been done? So to bring this into reality, here is a short story that has been around for quite a while that I like to use, and I've used quite a few times, and in my opinion is one of the biggest reasons that a safety culture fails, or you see injuries occur that you just shake your head and wonder why. A man loves his ham, and his wife can cook a great ham. As he watches his wife prepare the ham, he notices that she always cuts the ends off before baking. Finally, one day, trying not to upset his wife, he asks her, "Honey, why do you cut the ends off the ham?" She replies, "Well, because my mother always did." But he's still puzzled. But he asks his wife, "Can we call your mother and ask her why she cuts the ends off the ham?" So they both call her mother and ask, "Mother, why do you cut the ends off the ham?" She says, "Because my mother always did." So the mystery still continues, as we still have not gotten to the root cause. Now this was very interesting. So he called the grandmother and asked, "Grandmother, I would like to know why you cut the ends off of the ham before you bake it." Her response is, "Because in my day, the pan was too small, the ham would not fit, so we had no choice to cut the ends off the ham." So the moral of the story is that 3 generations cut the ends off the ham because they saw their mother doing it and never asked the question why. They just assumed that was the way things always had been done. So you may think that's dumb. But how many of our ideas and thoughts about safety follow the same tradition? We accept what we've been told or what we see without asking questions, and we continue to do it the same way. Here's another way of looking at it. What about the theory that 90% of all injuries are due to unsafe acts? We've heard this for many, many years. Is there data that supports this fact? I say show me the data. Is there a study that confirms these beliefs and how the study was designed or conducted? These are just handy shortcuts that we use. But are these concepts limiting the amount of valuable information about an injury or sending a negative message to the employees? Let's explore this in more detail. First, maybe we should dig deeper into the determination of error precursors or determine latent errors that are built into the job, steps, or tasks. Error precursors are known, obvious conditions found in task demands, individual capabilities, work environment, and of course in the basic human nature that can trigger a loss-producing event. Second, we might be aware of ongoing active errors and get data as well as long-term latent errors, but the question is, can we break the blame cycle? And we might be able to break the blame cycle that includes calls for counseling and disciplinary actions of employees that result in lower trust and communication. Therefore, with an understanding of these concepts, we may be able to remove the taint of the employee always being at fault or guilty of causing an injury. In this case, more feedback on hidden issues might be provided by the employee. Third, we might be able to open up better communication channels with all employees directly involved in completing tasks, and they may tell us where jobs are poorly structured and where the traps are. The taint of the unsafe act and its related guilt trip is then removed. Therefore, based on our discussion, is the current structure and approach that we use in developing a safety process valid? Are we using the tools and processes because we know from factual evidence and solid data that they are the right things to use? Or are you forcing the traditional concepts into your organization instead of assuring that the safety process design and implementation fits the organization for maximum effectiveness? Or are you caught up in the ham will not fit in the pan syndrome? As always, I look forward to your feedback and comments. Thank you for listening to this podcast, and I hope you have great success on your journey towards a safety culture. And I'll see you in the next podcast. James Roughton.